I'm back. Signs of the times. Spillways open up all over the place, and all of a sudden, everybody's thinking about it because it seems to be so unusual that there is so much excess water in the world. Wow. Global warming alarmists said everything was going to turn into a desert. But whoa. Or the water conservationists. Oh my God, we're running out of water. Ain't never been to the ocean. Well, you can't drink ocean water. Actually, you can. It'll just dehydrate you, which is funny. Anybody that knows anything about science knows you can't drink ocean water as it is, but you can just, get a pot of ocean water and put it over a fire and boil it off and catch the vapor, and then you can drink that. But no. Well, this is God's way of saying booyah in your face. Booyah. I love it. Oh, there's 100 other naysayers out there that just can't seem to understand that these things aren't normal. Well, of course they're normal. They've always been happening. No, they haven't always been happening. Here we have another guy trying to point out things to people. These things are abnormal.
You get dirty.
The guy writes, this guy is making videos about global cooling. What astonishes me is that, before I go on, global cooling, how come a volcano has something to do with global cooling, is because, and I agree with this, I believe it, or should I just say, I watched the video, man. Volcanic ash shades the earth. SO2, the chemical that makes smog in LA, sulfur dioxide is also ejected, is like a mirror. It reflects radiation back into outer space. So when the sun goes through its cycles of heating and cooling, which is kind of weird for us to think of, because if you ever got close enough to the sun, you'd be vaporized instantly. That sort of thing. But the fact of the matter is, apparently the sun has reduced its output by 5%. And a lot of people don't understand that the sun's photosphere, they call it, which is about a half a light year out, also protects our planet from galactic and universal radiation. Radiation levels have gone up. Used to be when you go outside, normal radiation would be, 40 micro whatever's 40 rems. Or 20 rems or something. They've changed the meanings of this because of microsieverts or some crap like that. I don't know. But either way, it's become anomalous. It's gone up to 100 just going outside. And it's an anomaly. It's just a sign of the time. It's just a sign that God's word is coming true. And And I say that, unfortunately, I don't think I can say that with enough seriousness to tell you that it's important to note. In fact, I'm saying it should be a top priority for every man, woman, and child on earth. And unfortunately, so many Christians are blowing it off as unimportant. Now, notice that some people will think that when I say important, it should be something to fear. I'm not saying that. It's something to note. It should be taken note of because it's going to change your life, and if you don't get ready, both your soul and your spirit and your flesh, when the troubles come, it's going to be your fault you weren't ready, not somebody else's fault. Well, that not going off, that's just normal. What's not normal is the number of volcanoes erupting worldwide has increased. Something I've said before. It's increased from the level of average of 20 a day through the 80s and into the 90s to 35 a day. Now I could sit here and count them all, or it's probably an average. Now I was offline for 6 months because, well, to be honest with you, I'm piggybacking on somebody else's Wi-Fi, but with their permission before you get crazy. But I sat here and counted when I first got back online about a month or so ago. I counted 30 volcanoes or 29 volcanoes going off. Last year it had been up to 40, and even and before my wife died, before Karen passed from cancer, I counted 50 active volcanoes. Note the red. Now I can increase this a little bit, and you can better see that the number of volcanoes actually is more. And it's absolutely amazing. Here recently I just counted 39, and I'm sure that if I counted it would be a lot more. All that extra volcanic activity is because the sun is decreasing its output. Now, I'm no scientist, and I haven't written any equations to try and figure this out, but there is less pressure on the earth. Less pressure equals a flexing of the crust. Flexing of the crust is going to bring about more earthquakes, and also it's going to make it possible for volcanoes to go off. One of the reasons a volcano doesn't erupt is because of the enormous pressure placed on the vent that keeps the magma corked up. But you drop that pressure, and it allows the magma. Makes it easier for the volcano to erupt. I'll put it to you that way. But anyway, the number is huge. I mean, unless you've been next to an erupting volcano, you would not be able to. It becomes tough to imagine how freaking awesome and how much power is in just a tiny little eruption. So, anyway, I'm gonna take my rambling self somewhere else. Just remember, this is all God's will. And people would say, an erupting volcano is not God's will. That's just a sin of the earth. I don't know where we're going with this conversation. If God was love, he wouldn't do such a thing. That's an argument for no God. Oh, I believe in God. Well, then quit arguing against him. Everything that's occurring, I'm afraid that there's no way I could come up with an orderly conversational process to describe exactly why everything happens. I guarantee you there is nothing that happens on earth, whether it is to earth or to your spirit or to the flesh, that isn't God's will. So, you know, it's how we react to the problem that's important. Enough said. Yeah, I've already rambled too much. Click.